Warning, there are some disturbing topics being mentioned in this video, such as abuse, LGBT phobia, trauma, and along many other things. If these subjects do not comfort you, I encourage you to click off this video. Anyways, I'll proceed. Hello, welcome for a very special time of the year, the month of celebration of people's freedoms to love and express themselves how they please. This video is to educate and make people understand the LGBTQ+ for what it is. Maybe it might remove some anti-LGBTQ+ beliefs you may hold. If you want to discuss about the LGBTQ+ or have any questions about the video, please do so in the comments. Anyways, our two guests is FPSGaming, my friend, and a non-binary person I associate with named KIRYUUAI.
Hey, it's me, KIRYUUUAI. I'm the official non-binary and pansexual person of the video. That definitely didn't steal your pantry and coffee machine. So, who's the other dude?
He's a person that I legally contracted to speak in this video.
Hello everyone, it is I, FPSGaming, once again back for yet another collab with fryfilms / Frenchy Fry, and the LGBTQ+ is actually something new to me, and something I haven't really been exposed around a lot in my life, so this will be a very interesting topic to work on, and I only recently started talking and interacting more with people LGBTQ+ related, and I thought that it would be good to learn why the LGBTQ+ is really good.
With all that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I will go over what the LGBT is. The LGBT is a community filled with people that are gender nonconforming and people of diverse sexualities. Some examples of LGBTQ members are homosexual, transgender, and non-binary. The LGBTQ movement started around the 1940s in Los Angeles. However, there were people that were gay or LGBT in the past, like Alan Turing, who's an homosexual Englishman who started developing the modern computer in the 20th century. These people are just people who want to live their lives like the rest of us do. However, there is a problem with the reception of the LGBT, and that's what we're going to be covering in this video. When it comes to discrimination, this group really hasn't died. Like, it's still a debate whether they should have rights or not. And it's just insane that this debate has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and yet people still haven't found an answer. We just don't know for some odd reason. In fact, in 11 countries in the world, homosexuality is punishable by death, and in 70 countries, it is considered illegal. And it's crazy that something as simple as that could cost you your entire life.
I agree, and also sadly, what Fry said is also true. There are still countries fighting for basic LGBTQ+ rights. Take, for example, Japan. Yep, I'm stabbing my own heritage in the back right now. In Japan, if you were gay and wanted to marry your spouse legally, you can. Either A, you have to move to America, which is, well, expensive and let alone difficult, especially right now. Or B, well, there isn't really a plan B.
What really adds on to it is that even LGBTQ+ youth are part of the hate. According to a study conducted by the Trevor Project, 71% of LGBTQ+ youth are being discriminated against, with 34,000 participants in the study. Another thing that I found in my research is, according to campuspride.com, transgender kids who are more, well, let's just say they're more likely to commit self-deletion, who are ditched by their parents. 15% of transgender students, K through 12, leave school due to extreme harassment. 78% of transgender students report harsh harassment, with 35% reporting physical harm, and 12% reporting S-word misconduct. The statistics show the state of the world of the LGBT, and we can fight for their rights and their freedom. So please do whatever you can, like donate to a charity, which I mentioned before, like the Trevor Project, or just talk to any mutuals you have that are LGBT. That would really mean a lot to them.
What makes this even worse is the fact that the USA, United States of America, states itself to be this country that accepts everyone for who they are and their humanity. And this makes America, and maybe any other country that claims this, look like bad liars as a result. This goes back to another video I did with Fry stating how women are more than their appearances, and that they are human beings with thoughts and dreams, not sexual objects to be used. And with LGBTQ+, this has been amplified up to 11, and LGBTQ+ children are now a part of it, and people will just laugh at these people, even killing them, protesting against them, etc. And the LGBTQ+ should not be treated like this. We shouldn't judge and mistreat them because of their gender identity or skin color. We should judge them based on the people they are fully. Everyone, LGBTQ+, is human, and we shouldn't forget that.
The first really common myth that I will mention in the video is that homosexuality is a choice. First off, someone's sexual orientation is not mainly, it's not like a choice or anything. It's mainly controlled by environmental and biological factors. According to theconversation.com, 8 to 25% of homosexual behavior is caused by genetics, and over 450 species, including humans, have homosexual behavior, including reptiles, birds, insects, etc. This proves that homosexual behavior isn't some sin by Big Cloud Man or something that's like an objective fact that is immoral. To reiterate, LGBT isn't something that you can just magically just choose. It's just something that's just the way it is, essentially.
Another one I think is that if you encounter someone who you believe is a man but looks and acts in a way that you perceive to be a feminine manner, you should take your best guess as to their pronouns. However, this is false. We can't guess someone's gender identity. It is not our determination to make for someone else. If you are unsure of how someone would like to be addressed, you should simply ask them directly for their pronouns they go by. Another myth is that gay men love to dress like women because they secretly wish they were women. Likewise, lesbians wish they were men and dress as such. However, the reality is that being gay does not mean that the person identifies as a member of the opposite gender. Sexuality is different from gender identity, and they do not have correlation with each other.
Another popular myth is that you can pray the gay away, which is more bullshit than creepshow art and personal look combined, and it's the best way to speedrun traumatizing your child. Another more recent myth is that maps are part of the LGBTQ+. Do I even need to explain why this is not true? Also, if you're the one pair that thinks that watching or reading any media with LGBTQ+ representation makes you or forces you to be gay, well, first off, what drugs are you on? Because holy shit, that's some hardcore stuff I have to try someday. And second, that's not how it works at all. Stuff like this comes naturally. LGBTQ+ media is meant to show that's okay to be like this, to display the problems that LGBTQ+ face daily, or for entertainment.
Representation in media is all across the board. In Family Guy or South Park, it's either played respectfully or just dumb stereotypes for a comedic effect. Like, for example, Family Guy, this trans character named Ida is just more like a trans character for the sake of being the trans character. Her episode where she was transitioning was not really that good. Then you had Mr. Garrison, which he became trans for like a few seasons and became Trump. It was weird. Like, yeah, the show did not portray the character the best, with very offensive jokes that even by South Park standards were just a little bit off the rails. While The Simpsons surprisingly handled it very well. Not bad. I mean, Smith or Smithers is not a gay stereotype or anything. He's a very respectable character. I actually really like the character, and the episode where he came out as gay isn't that bad. They handled it very well. Steven Universe, in my own opinion, I do not like the show, but I can appreciate it for one thing. It does have a decent amount of LGBT rep, so I'll give it that. I just am not really a huge fan. However, I don't really know a lot about video games, so FPS, can you add a bit more about LGBT representation in video games?
Now, in video games, for the most part, LGBTQ plus representation has been pretty more or less just shoehorned in. Like, for example, in The Last of Us Part 2, the character Lev is a transgender person in the game, and you would think that this is a good thing, right? Well, sadly no. This character was quite literally just shoehorned into the game because she was transgender and added little to nothing to the game as a whole. Don't get me wrong though, there are games out there that do in fact represent LGBTQ plus well for the most part, like in the game Grand Theft Auto, The Ballad of Tony Gay. Tony is gay and is also one of the main characters in that game, and is actually a pretty badass character and really adds depth and has a much greater impact on the game. Another example being with the game Undertale. In Undertale, there is a lesbian side character named Alphys, I think that's how you pronounce it, Alphys, and this character also has a heavy impact on the Undertale game, and is very much a welcome inclusion to the game. Yet, another good example is in the game Celeste, I think that's how you pronounce that. These games have very hard things to pronounce. And Celeste is the main character of the game, and is represented pretty darn well, and doesn't give a damn about her gender identity or anything like that. She just wants the player to have a great time with the game, and that's that with her. However, as many good examples as I mentioned, and there are probably also some more examples that I haven't mentioned that are out there in the world, for the most part, the LGBTQ plus representation is pretty bad, and usually is a problem. For the most part, like I might have said before, most characters LGBTQ plus related in video games are just shoehorned in there. To give you a better example of this, let's say you have a gay person in your game. That gay person is most likely going to just be in the game for the sake of being gay and nothing else. Same with trans people. Let's say you have a trans person that needs to be added to your game. Well, that trans person is most likely going to be in the game for the sake of being trans and nothing else. So basically, LGBTQ plus characters are really only in most video games just to show off their gender identity, if they have one, you know, if they're non-binary, or if the character is lesbian or gay. And this is just straight up demeaning to the LGBTQ plus community. A big slap in the face to them.
LGBTQ representation doesn't stop there. It can go in any field like Freddie Mercury or Caitlyn Jenner or Elliot Page. The list goes on. and on and on, and I'm sure in the future that there can be even more LGBT representation. But one element I have not seen in LGBT representation is in anime. Like, I am not that big into anime, so I'll just let Kiryu educate me on that one.
If you're like me and are a huge weeb, boy, do I have a huge Smash Bros. Level roster for y'all. Huge credits to Unatuna for making a list of these mangas in the first place. Please go watch their original video where they go more in depth about these mangas. A recent and popular LGBTQ plus manga is Boys Run the Riot by Kaito Kako, and I probably just butchered that, where the main protag is a trans man and his friend gathering people to build a fashion company, Pokemon style. There are currently 4 translated volumes right now. Fry, remind me to never make a pun in this video again.
If we convinced you, hopefully we can teach you some ways on how to help them. You could donate to charities, you could be an activist, you could spread the word or spread the video, you could do whatever you can to help. Because remember, these people can be your family, your friends, anyone in the world that could be in need of your help. I'll do my part by making a video, and you can do yours in any way. I would like to thank KIRYUUAI and FPSGaming for at least helping me with this video and doing a bit of research for the sources in the video as well. All the sources and stuff will be linked in the description, so hooray. Oh, and also hotlines and stuff like that that you could use. Anyways, peace out.